Over on the other side of town, on Statham's Neck Road, there's a well-known house there. It's the Maskell Ewing House, or better known as Resurrection Hall. I don't know how it ever got that second name, Resurrection Hall. That's what everybody calls it. And maybe what happened there, in the story I'm about to tell you, maybe is why it's called Resurrection Hall. There was an elderly couple lived in there, and Daniel and I both know the man. And in the house, there was always stuff being moved around. And we personally know him for real. And he'd say, doggone it, I set this hammer over, and the next day it would be in another room. Stuff in the house was being moved all over the place, and he couldn't explain it. All he could do was the next morning go try to find out what he needed for the day. It was like some child or somebody was playing games with him. Well, eventually, the elderly couple moved out. Never said much about the house. In fact, they never said much about his belongings shifting around the house at night. He never did say that to us. Another couple moved in, and they had a baby. Baby was close to a year old, not quite a year. And they moved into the house, and they were thrilled. It's a beautiful farmhouse, big barn out back, lots of land, and it's even got its own duck pond on the side, where you can go and ice skate in the winter. Or you can just sit and watch the ducks. A beautiful farm. The couple was very thrilled. Well, the woman, a few weeks they were there, she started feeling uncomfortable. And she asked her husband about it. How do you feel? She said, I don't really feel real good. He says, what do you mean? Are you sick or something wrong? She said, no, I just don't have a good feeling. He said, about what? And she said, I don't know, I guess about the house or something in the house. And he said, come on, don't be silly. And she said, no. She said, now and then I smell something. And he said, what, is it bad? Do I need to repair a leaky pipe or something? She said, no, it almost smells like perfume. He said, well, I haven't smelled no strange perfume in this house. And she said, oh, it must be my imagination. Maybe it's the flowers outside, and that's what I'm smelling. The breeze is pushing it in the windows. Well, one day, when he went to work, she brought the baby down, put the baby in the high chair in the kitchen, and she was feeding the baby, and she was having a great time, and so was the baby was giggling and laughing, and she felt really good about that day. It was very nice, a bright sunny day. Then all of a sudden she got an icy cold chill, cold enough to make her shiver, and she's thinking to herself, how can I get that kind of feeling that quick on a bright sunny day in the springtime? And the chill wouldn't go away, wouldn't leave. And the baby stopped giggling. Baby didn't do anything wrong. We just stopped having so much fun. And she tried to feed her baby some more, and the baby wouldn't eat at that point. It just sat there. And then she smelled it. She smelled that perfume again. And it was so crystal clear she knew it wasn't flowers outside. And the air in that room was as cold as a refrigerator. And then all of a sudden, out of the clear sky, she heard it. A woman's voice said to her, get out of my house. And she said again, did somebody say something? She thought that maybe she had missed it or someone had just come in the door. The voice said, get your baby and get out of my house. Well, she knew that that was clear, and she said that time it sounded like the voice was right next to her face. She took her child out of the high chair. She went out the kitchen door, and she walked down the road to the next house, which is about a mile away. She called her husband, said, I want you to get a moving van. We have to leave this house. We can no longer stay here. And she told him what happened. And he said, I've had nothing happen, but I surely believe you. And so they packed their things and they left, and they never came back to that house again. Well, since that time, the townspeople heard a little bit about this one. And being the nosy Greenwich people that we are, there was a lot of attention to that house, and it was empty. And I know a lot of teenagers at night would go down there with their cars and park the cars and peek into windows, hoping to see something. Well, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to see anything. Eventually, someone called Philadelphia to a news channel, a television channel. And sure enough, they came down. Channel 6 Action News was at Resurrection Hall, and a man named Don Pollock did a Halloween program right from that very kitchen where it all took place. So, if you ever hear a strange voice, or your room gets ice cold, or you smell a fragrance that shouldn't be where you're smelling it, leave that place.